the opportunities that we have. Let's use that. We don't feel that opportunity that we have people here, and the beauty part of being a teacher is that the good opportunity that God gives us. Last time, my afternoon program, I asked the question, what is a robot? I hope now you found robots at your home. Anybody now that found a robot at home? Robot. Is it traffic light? Yeah, these people feel the classrooms. All of them. Wow. After 3 months, I can say, sir, this is what I'm going to get. Yeah, let's get receive, but it's a matter. I don't really matter. That you teach, you go back and you forget. And you come back and say, what is a robot? Nobody remembers. You remember that was our first question? To say, what is a robot? And we realize that a lot of things that we use are robots. The definition is everything that is automated system that simplifies our punishment from Genesis 3 continues to be a robot as long as it simplifies how we did work. So that's a robot. My question for today, you know, as you do things, we buy what we call data. And now there are people that are doing things, they call them data mining. What is this data? That's the question for today. What is data? Raw unprocessed facts. That's English. Raw unprocessed facts. That's correct. But that one is more scientific. Yes. That one is I wanted to go class here computer science 1 month. Are you probably see 2 marks that raw unprocessed facts. It becomes information once you've processed it. Yeah, that's a computer science. Yes, what is that?
In a layman's language.
Yeah, I want English, you know, I want.
Data is information gathered for the particular purpose.
Data becomes information that is gathered for a particular purpose. Are you aware that you are data?
Yes.
That somebody makes money out of you without your permission. Or you gave them the permission, but you're not harvesting, but they're making up. So how much of the data mining? It's my somebody is mining. Somebody is mining. Somebody is making money. We talk about these things because unaware we do things. You see this world, their fourth industrial revolution in particular. And it's not something wow, but we do things unaware because we don't know. And you see people we don't know what these people are doing. We are competing and whether I'm receiving away. Every day, how to post a more creative. And I'm just what every Sabbath. You don't have to be here. But they know. Mary, who did that? You did it. You told them that Kasabata, this one, I'll be here. When they did a poster, they circulated around to say, I'll be here. Somebody can do money out of me going to be here today. So when you go on your Facebook and you post and you write, that's why when you Google, you'll see that it starts knowing your patterns. If you look for something, the next time you come, similar things are coming through. Those of you that are buying on Ting or whatever platforms, every time it has that, it starts advising you, or you can also buy this one. Because it knows it's your patterns. You buy like this, you behave like this. So, data is becoming money. Basically, when you speak, when you behave, you become money. somebody makes money out of using. So when you talk about data, not this one that you buy and you get minutes, but your pattern, your behavior. And I want to go back to those slides. So start saying, we took certain elements of that, we did not touch certain elements. But before I go there, I want to talk about this. Let's look at the timelines. It was 1780. It was 1900. It's a lot of time. It took 120 years for the change to happen. The next one, 1900 to 1970. It took 70 years to happen. The next one, by 2000, it took 30 years to happen. The current one took 20 years to happen. It's becoming shorter. It doesn't take time for us now to develop new things. Just like that now, new things are beginning to happen. Things that used to take longer for us to do, we're doing them quicker. When you come here, you'll realize that we'll start moving faster in terms of our timelines for things to start happening. Things that I mentioned, that I just want, I apologize for those that were not here because it's difficult when you have an old, you must not repeat in classes, it's a problem. Because now I want to teach new students. But now you guys are repeating. And you make my classes difficult. Because I must always remind you that remember we did this one. And the pro new students are like, no, we didn't repeat. We are new here. So please don't repeat this class. We are not repeating this class, we're doing new classes. A lot of times it takes a certain amount of time to develop. And often it was taking longer time for us to do it. Then suddenly times get shorter. I want to use that word today. We didn't use it last time. An avatar. People on Facebook, anybody? You don't have to raise your hand. You have an avatar. For free, eh? What is an avatar? Is there, guys, good people on Facebook?
Picture of yourself. It's your delegate.
We talked about that data. Alright? So when you choose an avatar, you've created another you for free. So this avatar can behave the way you will behave, can mimic your behaviors. Now, we didn't mention that part in our robot project. And for the new guys, the reason we're using this slide, we're also simply showing that as we do advancements that are benefiting us in terms of science, the devil is not sleeping. The way he was in the book of Genesis, he continues to play around that space. The devil is not going to allow you guys to go to heaven just like that. The Job story in the morning here. They will even go to God. Remember, we used that verse in the beginning when we started. They go to God and ask God, like, please give me this one for 5 minutes. So the devil is not going to sleep and allow you guys to enjoy this night. He's going to participate. And last time when I was here, I was showing TV programs that we've normalized. Things that used to be distant. Ubusangoma, for instance. Ubusangoma was not on TV. When we was talking about Ubusangoma, we got worried. Even if it was your relative, you said today, you said, when you come from a bottle store, you got eyes. You should not worry, you should know that you are from, you got eyes. But you see, because it was a rare thing to do. So we already got worried as brothers. Rather than that, you are from there, we saw you. But now that is on TV. And it's not just like they are doing Ulisino Ruda that distant thing. They treat you live on TV. So what used to be hidden has become open. We've normalized it. I think in the past 3 months that I've not been here, because I try to spend time when I have to see what are we doing on TV. I looked at the one of, you may have seen it, Kings of the Night and Queens of the Night, which is about prostitution. And was done live on TV. People not hidden faces, you can identify. If you know this person from your neighborhood, it's a person that you know. So prostitution is not that thing that happens at night. It's something that now all of us are becoming used to that. It's on TV, you can watch it and you understand, oh, that one is a prostitute, oh, that one is it's normal. So I said last time, a lot of things, how they become, how we as Christians start to struggle with them, is because they move from being hidden. You start seeing them, and then they become normal to you. You guys are busy complaining to government about the Bella bill because they're going to teach sex, they're going to teach this, they're going to do that. I said the way it starts. Remember my example last time was that you're going to have tuition because you're a maths teacher. And the children, your child will talk about it. Yo, daddy, mommy, the teacher is a very nice maths teacher. But one day they will say what? Mommy, no teacher is gay. That time you will like teacher teacher. He's a good maths teacher. But now this teacher is gay. So doesn't just teach maths, but also teaches behavior. No, he does. I told you, when you guys are at work for 8 hours, your kid is at school for 8 hours with a gay teacher.
Yes. We gave them that permission.
And now your child become used to being like this is normal. So you're going to see normalization. So that's how this thing starts. We start being far, start being here, we talk about it. Like, okay, boy, don't worry, man, just take the meds until they are 16. Then when they are 16, they can choose. When they are 16, they can choose. No, but I like the way he dresses. No, but you don't dress like that. And before you know it, now you want us to carry and fast again. They will fast for many things. Now you must fast for meds and science. Now you must fast for pains. I think I'm going to die from fasting, just from fasting. Just praying to God to change all these things. Then we'll just honor as adults die. Now, look at the timeline. It was taking 2015 to 2020, it's about 5-year period. 2020, 2025, 5-year period. 2030. So it's taking about 5-year periods. What are we talking about here? In 2020, we are saying there'll be a robot copy of a human body remotely controlled via a device like this or via computer. A device like this will be used to control this robot. But, okay, let me go through the verses that I used. You will die. One thing that is not being able to undo from Genesis is not to die. Remember that? Since that punishment came, that said, you will die. For all these years, for us who've been here for 6,000 years, and those that have been here for billions of years according to their sciences, one thing that they've not been able to undo from Genesis is not to die. So we still die. The richest man today, your South African guy in the US, knows for sure that one day I'm gonna die. The Steve Jobs, with all the monies that they had, we buried them. Bill Gates now is aware that now I'm old. He can see that I know now. I need to start planning my own future. I'm gonna die. Now, because we've been unable to undo the dying, we start a project where we can do a human copy. It's a robot that looks like a human being. we can remotely control it. Those things are laid down. Nothing big. Let me quickly do this for you. I know I have some here. It's not playing the way I want to, but let's just. I want you just to check. I want you just to watch something there. The robots that are most exciting are robots that mix humans. You see, human being is complex. Even medical people are still struggling to understand the human being. Yes. So it becomes a robot that can mimic that can behave like a human being, becomes an interesting robot. So the kids love it. Now, they do a robot that looks like a human body, and you can see those ones, they can start behaving. So it's interesting to the kids, and that's what I'm going to use to teach your kids anyway. We're going to teach them how to make those things happen, and they will happen. Now, the second, the big part, an avatar in which a human brain is transplanted at the end of one's life. Now, that human body that we created, we now transplant your brain. When you die, we will say, I know she was unhappy with that arrangement last time. She said to me, but I can refuse. Now, they transplant a human's brain, put into this machine, and then you continue to do what? To live in a machine. Then number C, they now put an artificial brain in which human personality is transferred at the end of it. So these two are related. Is being able to take a human brain, put it in a machine, and you work. But the most important part of number C is your personality. What was missing in the first one? Because when I meet him, I must see that I'm meeting him. When you dream, I can't dream about her and not see her and do the things that we do. So when he dies and we have this meeting, that is him, it must have his personality. So on Sabbath, when he comes to church at meeting, not him, must he be willing to come here and chorister us. That's a personality. Personality is your behavior. So it's not just taking your body, your brain, and putting it into a machine. We also now want to have you. There's no point in us having half you, it's not you. So we always say, I know it's not him. But we now want to have him. And every Sabbath, we must see that we are with him.
That is the physical.
Now, physically, we'll bury the bones.
Yes.
Take the head, take the brain, put the brain into some physical structure. After putting the brain into some physical structure, put their personality, put him. And that's why I'm using the issue of dreams. You cannot dream of your mom, of your grandmother, of your friend, and not have the same personality. It's not him, or it's not her. But it's a person. Because you should be. We talk 18 things when we meet. Now, it can't be that after we are died, let me say. Now that we talk some list. Thank you. Now that I don't know. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense to me to have a dream about him and we are talking history. But when he is in my dream, we talk the same things that we talk. So if we transplant his brain and his personality, I must still be able to talk about the same things that we used to talk about. Now, I talked earlier about us becoming used to having spiritism, divinities. These things that we are seeing on TV. When this happens, okay, let me show you what you guys are doing. The new tombstones have these pictures, as you've seen them. You have a tombstone with your grandfather or with your loved one. So now we'll go and bury the bones, but we'll keep him in the house and we'll interact with him.
Make it clear, brother.
You see, when Saul, Abata went somewhere, went to somebody to bring that part up.
Yes.
Now we're saying Samuel could have been buried, but could have lived in Saul's house. And when Saul wants to interact with someone, we'll simply go to that corner and we talk to them. So the people that believe in divinity, spiritism, they will keep their own ancestors in their houses, in their homes. They'll have a shrine there at the corner of that person and interact with that person. So I'm close, we're 2045. I'll still be alive, I don't know you guys. But I'm close, we won't go to the graveyards to visit them. You won't go to the graveyard to visit them. There will be a living person in the house. And you interact and you talk to them. Remember, it's very difficult now. We find it difficult because we are in this side of Adventist, where we say, but how do you talk to a dead person? That time that person will be alive with the same personality.
Make it plain, my friend, don't go far.
If you understand your personality, it's what makes you unique. So when you sit in the house, you will still be with us in the house in the same personality. If you love singing a certain song, you will sing that song in the house while you are there. Let's go back to the examples that I used at robots. The older people, you remember your laundry machine. You used to have one day for washing, one for drying. Today, all one. It knows hot water, it knows cold water, it knows detergent, it knows the time. When it's done, it's done. I tell people that one day your laundry machine, you're going to fetch the ID clothes today. You see what's happening today, we haven't seen one. Watch it, 2040. We, in your houses, you are going to have a laundry machine. You just put the things there. And then when you fetch them, they are ironed. And one day, let's do this. Okay, let me talk about people that wash. You will love that one. Yes. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. When I talk to people who drink, you know when they're sitting there, they're always calling kids to go and fetch the cold one in the fridge. The kids don't like doing it. And people are going to buy a small nail. And this man will go there and you're going to start meeting men here in the houses that are walking around opening fishes, opening, taking the alcohol, giving daily the alcohol, it's going to be normal. When we talk about them, of course, they have not happened. They look like no, they won't happen when they are far. That's why I use example of things that we know. That today you see them TV and watching like, yo, this was far. Or I never thought this would happen. But today that is happening. So even in technology, we have these things that are happening that don't look like. Let me talk in detail about the fourth one. A hologram. I was explaining somebody to say, you see, we're joking, so we're in this competition so far. So I said to him, no, you see what if we pay Lobola at your house? We will give you a hologram. So we will come and pay you with the cows. You got to give the cows. But these cows, you'll scan. You know that QR code you guys are used to QR code? So when you scan it, you'll see the cows. Whenever you want them, you'll see them, but you won't deliver the cows to your house. But you will pay the Lobola with the cows. No, not with the money. With the cow, with four-legged thing. You're going to Lobola your child with a four-legged cow. But we'll give you the QR code for you to see the cows. And then you will insure these cows of yours. And you will know that they are in some ground somewhere. Every time you want it, you QR code them. Hey, they are my cows. Are still here. And they are alive. And they are eating. And when one dies, you can always go to insurance and claim your cow that died. But you physically don't touch your cow. When technology develops, the devil watches. These are things that people. I know I want to emphasize more the bad part of that, but there will be a lot of good parts to that. We will use them, will be new jobs, there will be new things. Like I made an example of the machine. We want to have the machines that simplify our job. So we're going to accept them and adopt them and use them. In the same way as we do that, the devil does what? Plays on the other part and do all the other things. The same thing of a hologram is just a three-dimensional structure of the same. It's the same thing of almost the third one, of a representation of you. And when we look, in this one you don't sit with us yet, but we are able to say, when I QR code, I'm able to see you, able to see that you are alive, able to see that you are living. You live normal without you being dead. I said in Genesis 3, God said the man will die. And for years a human being has been dying. Now one thing that the human being is waiting on is to prove that point of the devil, that we will not die.
That's the devil tricks.
That's what is happening here. You said we will die. We will not die. We will live and continue to live. When you guys will use that, the good side of the automations and all these things, the devil will also be bringing these other things. And the same way we adopted these others that we adopted now. That is normal to have this. That is normal to have divinity. That is normal to. Once we become used to it, it's going just to be a normal way of life. You will know that when you visit my house, there are small things that are moving around here. I'll tell you why I have them, but we're going to have them. As it was in the days of Lot, so shall it be. It's not going to be different. We'll still be getting married, giving in marriage, celebrating our birthdays, enjoying our cakes, coming to church every day. All those things are going to be normal. Those things are just going to be normal.
Yeah.
The challenge we have, and I want to go also to what we said in the morning. What choices are you making today? Who's teaching your kids? In the morning we talked about, oh, he left, he went out again, oh, he's there. About that passion. When your kids come and say, no, this is my passion. And you allow them to go and study what they want. Because it's their passion. You know, as kids, now at least we are older. Kids start with one thing. When you say yes, they move from that one thing to the other. And to the other. And then you are now at each time. All these things are normal here. It's in a small way to say yes to it. We like it. You know, when Samson said, I want to marry her, it was not the first time he made his choice. He did make other choices before and he accepted it. Until now that main decision was to be made. And he said, no, I want this one. And finally they gave him. When the child comes and says, I don't want to do math. It's not math that started grade 8. They didn't want to do certain things. They didn't want to wash dishes. And they said, yes. So today, we'll correct it tomorrow. They didn't want to wash their tickets. Auntie, please come and help. Auntie does it. Before you know it, he knows that, or she knows that I can always say no. Then I can do what I want. Then it goes into substance. And they refuse to do it. Then everyone chooses. As parents, unfortunately, we have responsibility to our kids on choices that they make. It was possible for most of us here to live outside of the math and science world. And many will still live outside of the math and science world. But many will struggle to live out of science and math world. And that is going to be a problem. The challenges that we have as Adventists, it's us not having our things. And it's a choice that we have. And it's not a choice that was made by the founders of this church. Because the founders of this church said you must have your schools.
Yeah.
They did.
All the time.
They said you must have your hospitals.
Yeah.
And they did.
Sanitariums too.
It's us. When we came, we destroyed them all. You're not going to tell government schools not to have a gay teacher teaching your kids. You're not. They will teach your kid. Whether you like it or not. You don't want therapy to apply in the schools when you open your own school. You don't want to eat the drugs that they give us in the hospitals. Go to your own hospital. If you don't have, you will do what we do. We will teach your kids what we want to teach. We will treat you medically in the manner that we want to train or to teach you. And that's how it goes. So all those things are our choices. We have kids that are younger that we need to influence. Let's influence our kids. This is how we're going to be doing, this is how we're going to be taught. Let me take questions. I'm not that good at speaking, no questions. Question 1, I'll come to you. Questions? So that we see how to do. Okay, maybe I'll run hands 3. We'll come as we. Okay, can I have a question? I'll amplify your question.
I think the Adventist is the most advanced, right?
We can't hear.
So if your brain is in this state, what does the body look like? Because recently we watched a movie where it got into that place. And that place is a place where this person who has migraine, for instance, looks exactly like you. You know? So whatever human interactions that can be done with me can be done with that robot. Is that what we're going? Because I wanted to go back and say, is this like an advanced form of cloning? It's similar to cloning.
Look, I'm going to answer you. I just want to go somewhere quickly. Today when we see machines, it's hardware. Remember there was an operation done in South Africa of a child that was bent and they created the skin for him. So we learned to do what? To cover the machine with your normal skin. Now these machines will still make them with a physical structure. I always say, there are people that suffer from, is it Alzheimer, the one as you age and you forget. But in the brain, most of the people don't forget. The brain continues to live normal most of the time. It's the limbs. Limbs die when you're like 60, 40. You start realizing your eyes start like, these are the things that they want to replace. And keep the brain. So they transport the brain into whatever structure that we do, but they make sure that this structure will look like you in body, structure, and then in personality. So you are right. Look, these things are not new. And those of you who are watching an Avatar movie, the first movie of Avatar was 2009. So the fact that you did not know, or because you don't go to movies, you don't see these things. They play with these things, and they entertain, they become not so serious, until now you're deeper in it, and you're like, but this can be me. So yes, they can grow you and make you like. What's going to happen is, people are going to start making choices to say, when I die, you know that will thing? You'll sign your own will. And say, remember you have those vendors that you wear to start saying, when I die, medical school must. So you have things like that. Where people will say, when I die, I want to be that. Guys, remember people are saving your stem cells, especially the kid. You start stem cells, the tissues that they take off the kid when he's born.
Yeah.
You can save that thing. When they get sick, they are able to go and fetch that thing and revitalize it and give it to them as. Because remember, when your child is born, there's just nothing that they use it to become healthy. Let me give you an example of the baby button. How does the baby button get? They just put the pigs there and there's no pain. The child does not feel pain at that age. So what they're using when they're using the stem cells is the natural form of a human being. Then you are now allowed to go and harvest that. And then there's the stem cell clinic where they save that thing. When you are sick with some diseases, they can go and revitalize that thing and come and inject you. So it's going to be a lot of things that come together and remake people to live. It's going to be choices. It's not going to be forced on people to live continually. It will be something that becomes an option, and on my will, I say, on my will, I want to live. Or my kids will convince me to say, no, I want you to live longer.
But are we going to a place where you'll be sitting there like this and you're not able to tell who is a robot and who's not?
Look, the minute you have a brain and personality, you'll be a robot. That's just simply we'll have you here, we'll walk around you here, and we'll greet you and shake your hands and laugh with each other. And it will be just a lot of fun to be with you.
But my question is, as they advance, are we not going to be sitting from
Or your clothes. Look, we have things that we call ethics. And I don't know who has ethics. We'll say for now, when they start, we'll say we can't do while you are alive. But you see this thing of ethics, if you listen to the case of yesterday for Daniel Bush, the argument was on ethics, whether Judge Shop, and I'm not taking the debate of the issue. But it was like, if you've been accused, can you sit here? And the issue became mentioned, but ethically, as a person, you should know you shouldn't be doing it because you've been that. But who manages ethics now? Who's that one that can say, I'll be the monitor that we do not go that far? As part of what we learn in these things, we learn that part of ethics. When you do artificial intelligence, you say, no, this, because people say, but what if the robots can take over? We then say, no, as ethics, we not allow that. But how far do we manage that part? One day you'll find that somebody forgot. We just forgot the ethical part and we must it. And then like, this one looks like me. And everything like, it will help. The second hand was you, ma'am. Was you? Second hand. Okay. No, it was him. Okay, it's fine. I'll come after you. Yeah. Yes, I should. She says, what if this child can't do maths? Some nigger rice. Look, I think after my exposure now of traveling, there's nothing like that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use something. And I think I told you, I also told my wife. In fact, this person I'm not going to mention it. She's now a professor at CSIR. She was working with my wife. This guy told me first day. Now we met 2 weeks ago. That's why I was preparing the team to China at Unit Road. Here. He says to me, it's only now that I understand. He was lecturing first day. That time when I was teaching him, I was just taking the textbook and repeating it. So sometimes whoever teaches your kid may not be the best grades, unfortunately. A lot of times, the problems are not with the kids, are with us. You see the kid, when they are born, empty vessel. Empty. We are going to write a story. We write that story into that child. We feed the story. What the child becomes, it's us. We taught that child. So, there may be issues maybe with, not in the way that it happens, that we find ourselves that here in South Africa, there's just an unmet community. And I want to admit that there may be a child that may seriously have problems. But at the moment I'm arguing to say, it cannot be that the whole world in Asia understands it. And suddenly here in South Africa, here, we just don't understand it. I've said, when your child is smart at school, they will tell you that it's not, it's disruptive, it's whatever. We don't have schools for smart kids. Where do they go? Smart kids are visited by him every Saturday. Those are smart kids. Or he goes to prison on Sabbath. That is his ministry. Those are smart kids. They were disruptive because they thought, this one doesn't know what he's teaching in school. We don't have schools for smart kids. There may be kids that need help. They will go to specific schools and we'll help them. But most of the time, we just all go to the same school. And in this class we are 50, we must be the same. I normally call that bell-shaped class, bell-shaped class. If you don't want to have a problem with your employee, few people must be stupid, few people must be smart, the rest must just fit in this bag. Then you won't have a problem. But it cannot be that here in Africa when you do a maths graph, it's like boom, all dumb people maths and then few people do maths. And you go to other countries like boom, few that can do maths like boom, high percentages of everybody doing maths. We have problem of apartheid that taught maths and sciences vaguely. That we have teachers that may not really understand what we are teaching. We may have problems that even at universities, we still go there and you expect your lecturer to know, and later the guy admits he's now a doctor there and he says, no, I'm sorry guys. Yeah, when I was there, me too. I was just taking this and passing it. So your child is struggling. And not necessarily that your child is, I'm just using that example, to say this child is struggling. But he's struggling because this one is not able to explain. The problem is not with that child. It's simply that even this one. You know, we did AI at university in 1998. Nobody was talking, this robot things, we were doing them in 1998, nobody was talking them. Now I start telling these guys that, but you guys did not know what you're teaching us. I tell them, they didn't know. Because I said to them, hey, they didn't know what they were teaching us. Man, I would have not gone on pension because I would have made money in 1999 and retired. But all the things that smart that we go to university, we leave them there and go and look for a job. And now when I'm busy with this, no, I did this thing there. They didn't know what they were teaching us. They took it as it is from the textbook. Okay, guys, you've seen textbooks, not textbooks, not for sale outside the US. Why is that textbook not for sale for you? Look, you guys measure universities. The best university in the world every day is Harvard. Now, when will Harvard stop being number one university in the world? Because those guys are going to tell you what you know. The second university in the world is Stellenbosch, and then not Stellenbosch, Stanford, and then number 3 it's MIT. All these things that you guys learn, all these things are designed here. Those guys control if you're going to be a millionaire. They control what you know. They control when to tell you things that they're doing. Your Facebook, your Google, your WhatsApp, all these things are done there. So they decide what you must know, what you should know. So probably if you took your child and exposed them to that world, it would be a totally different child. And we've seen, Facebook guy did not finish his degree, Microsoft did not finish his degree, Steve Jobs, Dell, all these guys are not finishing, but they're teaching us to invest. A whole lot of dropouts are telling you how to behave. So there are things that, as we become clear, we need to be talking about them. And start saying, but our universities, what are you teaching? Are you allowed to come to university and do something that everybody else is not doing? And do your own thing? You don't. We should know that's a standard. But those guys, they are setting standards. They are telling you what you must come and teach. And when they don't understand yours, we find it and we don't do it. Okay, and let's you continue.
Okay, thanks, Prof. Just a few pointers here. Number one, my biggest concern that you highlighted is the thing that we should not, we actually have to channel our kids in terms of passion. And that is a very big challenge to me because anything that you do with passion can generate money. Anything. You can think of anything. There's a plumber, there's a soccer player, there's a builder, people generate money from skydiving. They just need money, right? I just want you to help me on that part because if I can let my son to be what he wants to be and support him in whatever he wants to be a carpenter. We know of clients that make millions just by carpentry, right? So I think it's a bit dangerous for us to limit our kids, because when you limit your kids' passion, you're limiting God. That's how I feel. You can help us on that, right? And in terms of machinery, there's a machine now in Marco. You can go to any Marco, you go to the LT section. There's where the machine actually steams your clothes and hangs your clothes, and you can just take it out. So that one is fine. And then in terms of the cows, where you scan the QR code, Ferrari sells you a car, but you don't keep it. Whenever you want to drive it, you call them, they bring the truck, you drive it around the track. When you're done, they take that car and you go. It's your car. You don't put it in the garage, right? Now, we go back to what you just said now. You just said about Steve Jobs and Mark. They didn't finish the degrees and everything. But it was passion. It's what they wanted to do, right? Now it's generating money for them. They are becoming one of the most richest people on earth, right? You look at the guy who went to the US, the South African, Elon. Elon had a dream and had a passion and had a vision, right? Whoever supported him said, you can do this. It was something that was not there before, but he's prompting a whole lot of things. Now he's got internet over satellite, uninterruptible. He's got cars that are one of the best-selling cars in the world. He's got technologies where he can actually clone your hand with a robot, right? So that's what I'm saying. Please supplement that one, because if I'm going to China and not support my kid in his dreams, and I tell him, if you do not do well in maths and science, my son is not going nowhere. But then I'm forgetting the passion in them and God's purpose to him. Because remember, sometimes God puts you in places where He wants you to be, to fulfill His word. So I just need you to help me up with that one, the passion. It's confusing.
Are you answering him or your question? Oh no, I thought, because when you were speaking, then your hand went up. I thought I'm hearing that somebody's going to answer on my behalf. Oh. No, let's hear your answer before I answer. Thank you, sir, for answering me. I was worried.
I don't know. Do you know Jordan Peterson?
Volume was good. Okay, come and use this device. It will help you.
I greet you in the wonderful name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Jordan Peterson. Before I come to him, what my son said here, I already what you shouldn't just allow your children to do whatever they want to do, just because what they're doing is difficult. It's something I've been struggling with. I don't have a child. I'm still a child. Yes. Oh no, I'm not a child. It's something I've been struggling with because it's something my father has done to me when I was still a child. Yes. So he would always tell me, just because I love to play, I wouldn't say I was an intelligent kid, but if I understood something, I understood it. And I did not have to sit with other children to understand it better because I understood it. So in class, people always thought, what's with you, not? I was not naughty, I was a silly kid, I was not exceptionally my teacher and but I was disruptive to other children because I So I would sit with them, tell them, hey, do you have any reason I'm drawing here or whatever, And sometimes I would be the slow one to understand. But because I'm slow, I would sit down, think to myself, the teacher's not explaining, like we've said, sometimes the teachers cannot explain. So you ask the teacher, they tell you the slow part of the group. They tell you I'm a slow reader. What surprised me is that like King James. But Kuskolong, Peter went to buy 4 sentences, they are ballet. So they are makaja. I'm reading verses, you know, Jesus wept, you know, thou thee, you should not, you know, at grade 3, because they get about grade 3 and all those things. And they call about when reading the chapter today, I would read it. Marakus Kolom, Peter went to Yambora, or Erfika, Peter went to slow, like, and I'm not slow, I'm slow, I'm down. You know what's like Peter went to the bus because at home man can say LNG white, you know, those types of things. And so I was an undisciplined, not I wouldn't say my parents didn't discipline me, but I was undisciplined in the way of I did not care enough to pay attention to whatever I had to do. You get it? So they had to teach me to pay attention because they had to make me repeat a grade. I get it. My mom, when she explains this to me, I was with kids older than me in my school. But when I'm doing my notes and I'm grade, when I got 6 years and all that, I was one of those kids. I get it. So they can pass, but they can pass at 50%. I get it. And the kids were older than me. They understood what was going on in grade 1 because each year was grade 1. Again, I don't like a dog. Again, nasty fage. I'm not finished with whatever I'm supposed to do and all that. So I was just trying to break the ice with that stuff. Because I was a bit nervous. Yes, as we go back to the mathematics part and the mathematics and engineering, Jordan Peterson, when he explains this, there are a lot of creative people in the world. But the system of education that is publicized in the world doesn't fit for them. Yeah. And it doesn't work. If you put who's this man? Albert Einstein. I'm not sure if was it Thomas Edison or was it Albert Einstein who was homeschooled? Thomas Edison, right? Yes, Thomas Edison. He was homeschooled, né? But if you know his story, they told him when he's down at school. They wrote his mom a letter. This man, there's no way he's going. But at home, what did the mom tell the kid? They say you're very smart. So that's what they told the kid. He became one of the best. Like, even today, if you mention that name, you understand the type of person or the type of brilliance he had. Again, because when did it start? At home. The mom didn't tell him, they said, so we're going to teach you maths in a different way. They started teaching him maths at home. Again, and he was an engineer. If you look at people at that time, most of them were engineers and mathematics people and scientists and whatnot. So just for that, let's start on make it do. Because skolo jarana dia bapale. Di pale jilele, you know. It's been schools fail even as adults. They fail guys. So don't expect something that has failed to be tried and tested and passed. Come on. When it's proven to fail, come to I don't 6 to 15. You understand? So I'm just putting that aside. But then on the mathematics part, I keep running away from it. Okay. On the mathematics part, if you teach children to have stable things before pursuing passion, like they were talking about mathematics and engineering. Again, it's not wrong to have a passion as a child. And now I'm passionate about a lot of things. Again, but the problem comes when the passion itself is an addiction instead of a help, or instead of a thing that proves to be helpful. You know, there are a lot of the USA has proved this, and there are a lot of, how many musicians are there in the USA? A lot, right? How many artists are there? A lot, right? Are they making any money? I'm not saying the USA is one of the best economies in the world, right? But they've been teaching their kids passion and whatnot, run after it and all that. Even Galileo, they were the best artists, but he was a scientist. You get what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to prove here. All these best people, they go, who else can I quote instead of Galileo? People we know, man. I don't want people that really got historical. Okay, those are the names I can recall right now. Again, Galileo, Albert Einstein. These people were not geniuses because they were geniuses all the time. Again, it's because their genius was applied in whatever they were doing when they were teaching themselves. They were scientists before they were creative. Again, so I've been studying these types of people not my whole life, but for the most part, because I wanted to be a person who was respected by people. So I would say to study these people, but then I would realize that in order for these people in order for them to be good in order for Galileo, I would say Da Vinci, yes, let me say Da Vinci. Da Vinci, he portrayed the Mona Lisa and all that, right? He was a scientist, he drew things and all that. When he was supposed to fund his art, he went to the sciences, sold his science work. It made money, he funded his art. If he wanted to pursue sciences, he found this thing that helped him, or that was a breakthrough in the sciences, he went to the arts. The arts helped him fund whatever he was doing that side. So I'm just trying to say, the way I understand what they're trying to say about the mathematics and sciences is that mathematics, my maths tutor used to always tell me, because I always thought I was smart. He would always tell me, mathematics, I say about car. I need him to car. It's not for clever people. It has a formula already. There's nothing new you can come with into mathematics that's not already there. We are just finding simple things that prove complicated things in mathematics. So mathematics has already been applied in of itself. It has been proven, it has been tested. All your life, to make tools you need mathematics, to draw you need mathematics, to talk you need mathematics, to sing you need mathematics. But I'm not saying it in the way how you need to calculate and all these types of things. But it's applied proven living. When you do mathematics, you are teaching a child to apply a method or see patterns that already are there and use them. So when you're teaching a child how to have a passion, you have to teach them boring first. So boring is mathematics, I would say, because I can art mathematics are boring. But if I hadn't been taught that, however genius I would have been a genius or fella in 5 minutes. Because if I'm not willing to work through the plan and understand how the plan should work, or how the plan should come about, then I wouldn't be able, even if whatever I say is brilliant, it wouldn't be helpful to any person because I haven't understood how the process works. So math is a process, math is an application, math is something that is not for geniuses. Geniuses need it. Every layman needs math. Because math helps you become a genius, or helps you apply the genius that is already within you. So, yes.
to say, and I'm happy with the comments he made. Let's not run away and say we're passionate about things while we're running. We're also just saying, maths gives you more opportunities. And through maths and science, you won't be denied your passion even if you do maths and science. But if you follow your passion and you want to do other things, you won't do them because you won't have maths and science. I think that was my emphasis in the morning. To say, people can do whatever they want to do. But if you don't have maths and science, you won't do them. You can, I'll make a simple example now. And he used the examples that I was going to use of Americans. Check all the Olympians of this year in America. They're all from universities. What they've noticed, they've been able, look, one economy that thrives in the US and the black people is being a star. It's been in Hollywood. Black people in America make money in Hollywood. You're watching too much Facebook or social media. Now, when that collapses, there's no fallback. There's no school. So if you go and look at the current Olympics, go and check most of those 100-meter girls, whatever they did, they are all from universities. They've then realized that when this passion life lasts for 10 years, this athleticism, this soccer stardom and whatever lasts for 10 years, what then do you do? So we want to support passions also with schooling or also with things that will back that. I'm encouraging my own kids. I tell them every day, if their dad does well, guys, you won't have to work, but be swimmers. We have medals and medals that were hanging on our walls. They are winning in terms of that. I'm pursuing that. But one thing I still pursue, while I'm still working, they must do their maths and they must do their sciences. Cristiano Ronaldo, has no schooling at all. At 14 years, he left school. He's one of the richest superstars of the modern era. And all he did was to do soccer. You know, if you want to see that guy's popular, in July, I think, or August, he opened a website, a YouTube channel. In one day, he had 75 million people following him. And he had not posted. He opened that channel just to say, I have a YouTube channel. Without a post, 75 million people were following him. Remember, YouTube pays you for followers. That guy, he has not said anything. 75 million people were following him. So, I don't know whether he followed his passion, but I would say when you become good at what you are doing, people follow you and they'll pay you for following you. So, we become passionate with what we are doing. And I like what you said, you related passion to God's gift. That when we start becoming good in maths, becoming good in English, becoming good in these things, we start to love in them. And I know in the morning I said you must stop saying you love your job. We love that way because we do it every day. And we do it with passion. We start really loving it. I don't think we're dismissing the passion part. We're just simply saying, often people start saying they want to be a DJ, they want to do the other, because the other one, it's hard, it's boring, it's work. Then they choose the easy route. If your child is good at 14, is a good athlete, and there's potential for them to retire at 28 and billions like Ronaldo, well done, do it. For the rest of us who are in the bell shade, let's go to the maths class. The rest I think we're just commenting about those other stories as possible, that it's already possible to see that. I'm only taking questions. Let me see how many hands are there. I saw yours, I saw hers. So we have only 2 more hands.
There's comments.
Okay. Yeah, she must not comment in secret. Yes.
Greetings. I'm gonna start. I have 2 points.
Okay.
About the passion thing. I'm good at math. Good. Then depending on the teacher. If the teacher is good, I'm good. I had this teacher in grade 10 who encouraged math. Like my sister at her school, they don't encourage it, but I fail, Elena, fail. And then they fail. Because the teacher said, you will fail. You know what I'm saying? And I try to encourage my sister, but she doesn't believe it because she hears it every day at school. They are going to fail. So I think it's more of the teacher, because the teachers, some of them are not teachers because they wanted to. They are teachers because it's a backup plan. You know what I'm saying? So that's why most of us in math, we fail. I had to repeat math because my math mark was very low in grade 12 because I had no good teachers. My teachers would say, open page 4. Do you see it? It's big, it's like an elephant. But if you take the elephant and eat it every day, then you'll finish it. And that was my math class. So it's where it comes from. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole point. I'm good at math, then, but I'm not good at reading. So I'm good at math. I'm not good at reading. Then, so what is my passion? I want to write movies. Then, but I'm doing engineering. Engineering is my backup plan. Because if movies don't work, I know where to go. I hate engineering, guys. I hate it with a passion. See the same passion? Secondly, with cloning and all that, I hear there's a program where they do. We saw movies of time travel, right? Like we are going to move time. But I've always thought time, controlling time, going forward, it's always been a God thing. You cannot do it. Even Satan cannot do it. Because then, if he could do it, I would pass a temptation, and then he would try again. For me to fail it again. You know what I'm saying? I always thought it was a God thing. I think creation too is a God thing. So no humans can create unless it's the way God can. That's why men cannot get pregnant. Unless God says this is, we cannot go beyond the bounds of it. That's why Saul, when he was asking for someone from that witch of Endor, he couldn't because God, the spirit of prophecy says God puts bounds on what Satan can do. So yes, I see the vision of what they want to do, but I don't think it's possible to a certain point. Okay, personalities, okay? Let's just say we put a personality into that very person we want to create, in a way. And the program, right, because we use coding and all that, the program will learn the personalities of Lucille. Lucille will go smoking at this time. Lucille will do this at this time, okay? Now, this person will not develop because Lucille has not developed, because I died, right? They put my personality into this person. But my personality algorithm does not grow over to that point of death. That's what I'm saying. Yes, I get the vision, but there's God. You know what I'm saying? We cannot go beyond the bounds of God.
Those were comments. You must come closer, please. Madam Doc. Those were comments, so I'll comment a bit after that, but Sebo, you're the last person. When I say that, no. Sebo is the last person. I don't know why you guys are busy. No, I'm talking something and you guys are disputing this.
I subscribe to the ideology that every child is born intelligent. And it is the society and the community that takes that intelligence away from the child on a daily basis. The exposure, the kind of education, the kind of things that we discuss with our children, those are the things that are going to shape or distort their intelligence. like they've been saying here, mathematics is a rule of life. It shapes your understanding, it shapes your thinking, it shapes your explanation. I'm not good at maths, it didn't even appear on my grade 12 standard 10 Form 5 certificate. I wrote it, but it did not appear. That's how bad I am with mathematics. But surprisingly, I am able to coach a student how to pass mathematics. I can sit with a student that does any subject and coach them how to pass, because it is the brain that passes, not mathematics. So it depends how you want to attune to what you are confronted with. And I want to agree with the facilitator today to say, as parents, everything is on our shoulders. These little things, we need to channel them. They don't know yet what life is all about. We know. And there are things that we know that had we done them better then, we will be far now. So we are trying to assist them to avoid what our parents could not assist us to avoid. That is number one. When coming to passion, you just opened a very sensitive discussion on passion. In my manuscript that I just finished, it must go for editing. The title is What Every Student Should Do. There's a chapter there that talks about passion, and it says passion is a standard. It is not a choice. You are passionate because you are a living person. You are a human being. You don't have a choice but to be passionate. But the difference is, what is it that you are passionate about? Unfortunately, even us seated here, elderly folks like myself, we don't have a clear vision, statement about our lives, what we want to achieve. I don't have it clearly written as me, what I want to achieve, the end product of my life. And that is something that I need to be passionate about. When I talk about passion, I talk about that vision statement. To say, this is what describes me as a person. So if I don't have that, it means my household also does not have a vision statement. We are just living, praying in the morning, praying in the evening, we go to sleep. We don't have that thing that we want to attain at the end of us. And if we don't have that, it also means we don't have a mission statement, which is a process that will help us to achieve that vision. So we are not going to be passionate because our mission statement makes us passionate. It helps us to wake up every day in the morning to go through what we need to go through for us to achieve what we shall have set for us. I don't even want to talk about the church. You are this TASDA. Naturally, we should be seeing your vision statement here in a banner. Your mission there. So that when everybody comes into this, they know what they're subscribing into. And then they're not going to be surprised by the teachings that you're teaching them. And I will be surprised if you're going to do your vision statement and all this is not incorporated. Because it looks like you are a church that wants to be globally relevant in terms of skills, thinking, and application. And if that is not going to form part of your vision statement or your vision statement of this group, then our kids are forever going to be trying this and then it doesn't work. try that and then it doesn't work. And then the next thing they're going to ask next door to say, what is it that is working for you so that I can copy? And then once they start copying, now they lose that purpose that God has put us here for. And our purpose, it is not in our career. Our careers becomes a means whilst we are on this earth. Hence, he is differentiating between the purpose of the devil and the advancement of what we are trying to be simplifying for it to make our lives easier. For us, robotics, for him and for everybody that is in robotics, is to simplify what is a burden to us. But now the devil also has seen a loophole to say, once they are thinking this is what they are doing, I might as well do this in the meantime. Like what? So now I would encourage the church to say, let us go back to a drawing table, write for ourselves our household's vision statements, which is quantifiable, and a vision that is human relatable. When I achieve it, I can see myself achieving it. And then coming back, it will be easy to have a common vision statement. And then my child will be your child when we come here. Because we all have a common goal to see our children globally relevant. Again, career coaches that says if you are in a career and that career, when we ask you what you are doing and you must tell us a paragraph, you don't have a career. A career, it must be either maximum 2 words. It is either you are an engineer and then we ask you which field, and then you're going to tell us chemical, industrial, mechanical, whatever engineer. Or I'm a designer, we are going to ask what type, instructional, fashion, whatever design, plumber, you name them, but it must be 1 word, maximum 2. But once we start explaining for us to understand what you are doing, then the passion is distorted, the vision is not there, therefore the mission is dimmed. That was my 2 cents. Yes, my PhD is
Okay. That's a psychologist speaking there with a PhD. So, mommy, the brains are not a problem. That she's learning. There's no other studies after that what she's done. PhD is done. There's no other psychology on top of that. To say the brain is empty, these little things, I like the way she said it, that these things are empty vessels. We need to go and put information in there. There's nothing better than that.
Okay, Dumela. Lekai. Okay. Yeah, so from the morning my mind has been running wild. Yeah, but I just had to narrow down everything to just one thing. In the morning they mentioned unemployment, especially in our country. So I think a large percentage of our unemployment rate, it's people that have degrees, right? People that went to school. And I can safely say that it's also people that pursued sciences as well. When we speak of futuristic, fields, robotics, and industrial revolutions, we see these things starting in countries like China and all these things, right? So it's easy for such people to pursue sciences, right? Because there is a high demand. Countries like that are able to invest in researchers, they are able to put money towards technological advancements. They are developed countries. But when we come to us, I would say we are still a developing country, right? And countries usually cater for the demands of the men. And that is why you find that, okay, I have a medical science degree, but I'm also doing dentistry. A large percentage of people, oh, by the way, I am an SME student, formerly known as Medunza. People that did BSc in our institution, right? It's different streams of science. About 30% of them go on to do their honors, masters, and PhDs. 20% they finish their degrees and then they are frustrated that they don't know what to do because our country does not invest in research. They don't invest in, such things. And then about 50% of us, which are in that 50%, we end up diverting to other streams, right? So my question then would be, when you encourage or when you push young children to pursue sciences, I think also it would be nice to advise specifically which streams of science to pursue that in our country they can be catered for, because we have a lot of degrees, but
Thank you, sir. Congratulations for that. Quick one answer on that one. BSc and BA are the same. Yes. People make noise here and go to university and do BSc. BSc and BA are the same. You just collect science courses and you finish. Another one collect arts courses and they finish. The competitions that we run, we call them world skills. Skill is what are you doing? Don't go to university and collect math, science, biology and finish there and you say you're done. You're not done. Go back to school, that's why you're unemployable. As people go and collect English and Africans and they finish in school, they come here and we graduate and they have a degree. What are they going to do with English and or English and Sotho come up with? It's not a skill. Arts degree. You can't use science degree and collect science courses. You are not able to, because just being a mathematician or just doing maths, maybe that's not mathematician, because mathematician should be a skill. Just going to university and graduate with maths and biology and physics and all these things. If you're not able to use those things, you must go back to school. In fact, I've been saying, people must go to university until they finish. And you only finish when you can do your own job with that degree. If you finish there and you want to be employed, you're not done. You must go back. Because these people that we have here, the graduates you're talking about, they went and collect certificates. And they're not able, they come here and say, no, I need a job. How? You went all the way and spent so much money for years, and you come back and look for a job. You're not done. Go back. You will be done when you are able to do something with that thing. And we use the example of people. You know what I say? What is different with Bill Gates? It's not dropouts. They went in there and found what they needed and went out. That's why they are billionaires. The skill that we were able to get just by entering was enough. I'm done. I'm going. And they went into their family garages and stuff like that. And they did these multi-billion businesses that they did. So it's not about completing. Because if you complete and you're not able to do with that, you're not done. Go back. It's him and then say, Murut, you see, you must get your fever. I think the fever must come back. Because I said we are done now. I think fever is getting finished. Oh yes, please come this side. I know. I did recognize you. Because I think this fever is getting finished, so you are...
Okay. Nama qale ngani kusho lokho. Nami ngibreak ice njengalana. Elihle ngisukumbuza ukuthi ufuna ukufundisa isiZulu. Ngithi mina ukufundisa isiZulu akunankinga mntanami. Jola nomfana womZulu. Mina ngikhulela ukushini sisho njalo. Ilokishi ufuna ukulazi, jola nomntana wawo lolo lokishi. Olukuyomcheka uzokufunda kasi. So no ufuna sikwazi isiZulu, jola nomZulu uzokufundisa isiZulu. So ngiyajabula ukukhuluma nge-skills ngoba bengithi ngiyalapho. Bakithi thina ngikhuluma nje ngesizulu kanje ngoba ngiyasazi. Kuhle ukufunda ngolwimi olaziyo. Enye into esibulalayo ama-Asian ngoba bafunda ngolwimi lwabo bakithi. Thina la eSouth Africa asifundiswa ngolwimi lwethu. Ziphinde zisiqale lezinto. Ngengaba iphana. Okay, mina ngina PhD, mina ne-degree yaseGasi. Mina ngine-degree yaseGasi. And ngiyama proudly nabangani bami sikhuluma isilungu esisibhedayo mara siyenze imali. As-encourage ukuthi mara I encourage to be confident in whatever I do. So la ngiyakhona mina ukuthi asinalo thina ilungelo nethuba lokufundiswa ngolimi lwethu. Sifundiswa is-English ngesizulu. Bese kuba nzima ukuthi i-eggs eqanda ufuna ukukhuluma nomlungu. Ngoba kuneqanda kune-egg okumele uphume ngapha uqabanga iqanda. Umlungu bekakhuluma ukuthi i-egg ucabanga into eyi-one konke kuyafika. Sincedwa i-AI manje. Kuma-email. Ukwazi ukubhala yonke inkinga oyibhalayo, ithathe, ichaze, ibeke lapha kumlungu. Uyohlangana naye face to face nale nto boyibhala. Kodwa ukuzwile nge-AI. So mina ngithi any challenge esibhekana nayo thina singabantu. Sinalo challenge ukuthi asifundiswa lezi zinto. U-divide no-minus, ukususa ngesizulu, uku-understanda lento isilungu. I-maths ne-science isilungu. Asibekelwe sona ngesintu sethu. Uzowuzwa singaphuma siphambili kakhulu. Ama-China afunda ngesi-China. Aphinde aze la bazosifundisa ngesi-China babatolikele. Thina ongafike bathi awufundanga wawakhuluma isilungu perfect. Siyini engaka bakithi nisifundisana yona? Yini lengaka bafike nisishayela yona ngesilungu? Ngoba ibabuhlungu mfethu, angithini asizenzi. Thina kufika abantu la bakhuluma isilungu esiphezulu, Thina mfethu English, London is too far for some of us. It's too far. Siyacela, asisho ukuthi asifuni. Kodwa sometimes i-system esiqindezelwe ngayo isenza ukuthi singakhoni uzi-expressa ngale ndlela esifuna uku-explainisa ukuthi besithi u-1 no-1 u-2. Bafuna sithi 1 plus 1 is 2. Lento zinto zihlukile lezo. U-1 uhlanganise no-1. Ukhipha abantu nami, ukhipha u-2. Fika wena uthi 1 plus 1. Kumntwana waseNatali uphuma e-rural areas. Akamazi 1 plus 1. Ukwazi ukuhlanganisa. Hlanganisa u-1, umhlanganiso no-1, uphuma bani? Uyayazi leyo. So siyacela bakithi abantu abafundile. Siyacela abantu abafundile. Sometimes isicabangile asukuthi idom. Akusukuthi sidom. Mina ngazi abangani bami abasho bathi udom nemali yakho. Abangani bami ikazi bayakutshela bathi hayi udom nemali yakhe. Because i-understanding yethu yokuhlakanipha ihlukile. So ningasifaki ebhantshini lamatama amaningi nisifake sisonke. Thina abanye sifundile, siyakwazi lokho sokwazi ngendlela esiyazi ngayo. And unfortunately, sifundiswe ngalo ndlela leyo. Wena mawuthola ithuba emachereshana, walithola ithuba lokwenza kuhle bakithi sanijabulele and yiyo abantu bethu befunda abasifuna ukubakhuthaza ukuthi mabayenze. Kodwa nakhona siyacela kulabo abanepower ukuthi ey'koleni zethu fakani isintu sethu sikwazi ukufunda ngaso, sikwazi uku-understanda lokhu usitshela ngakho. Sizokuphasa lokhu angifundela mama. Wena ofunde science, ufunda ngesimbi, uzokubheka nkosi labantwana bama-China bafunda ngesi-China. I can tell you now. Abafundi ngesilungu, they don't know English. It's nkosikazi uzokutshela, it's from the above, so ithini lapho? For yeah, I know you from the above, so no, insipho le. Ukhuluma ngensipho nebhavu. Kodwa ngiyazi. Mina futhi nginomngane ofunda imachereshana. Besithi besihamba siyofuna indawo yokuhlala, sisasamba bachelor, besebenzisa yena for ifoni. Umlungu ucabanga ukuthi ohlangana nabelungu bengafika toilet nabantu abasungile. Athi, where's the guy I was talking to? Sit now. Ngoba kodwa uSteve umngane wami bengahlali pha, bengayazi English, bengayazi maths, angayazi into because bekehlala nabelungu. Umama yakhe bekayi what is that? Yeah, angithi uyabona emakhishini sibiza emakhishini. Umama yakhe behlala emakhishini. Abangane abafunda isilungu ngokuhlala nabo. You understand? And mina umntanami usidle. So musa kwenye aftercare. Enye aftercare siyayibona sithi ake sidlule. Ngeba bengifika ngidlule kule aftercare ngeba ngithi umntanami usobala ngeAfrikaans. Lo mama lokuthi iqala ngokuthi ngikhulume naye ngithi ini cup ngeAfrikaans. Yini iwathwathi ngeAfrikaans. Esikoleni ugrade bamhlaba umntanami ngento ezi-Afrikaans ezile akakazi nokwazi ukuthi icup yini ngoba ekhaya alifundi icup. You understand? So umntana bekafika esikoleni ukuba nalento lehlangana kanje. So siyacela bakithi hayi kabi mina bese ngisho nje ukuthi sipheke ithuba nathi esingakhona ukwazi ukukhuluma isilungu ngendlela leyo. Nisifundiseni lezi zinto ngelimi lwethu nizobona ukuthi sihlaphe kanjani.
Amen. You see what he's saying? If your education does not make money, you have so many entrepreneurs in the townships. They live and they live a better life than the people with degrees. Because they have a skill. Whatever it's under or it's a skill. So if people don't have skills, by school they can have all the degrees they have. Or chairman, I'm the chat and because there was a ticket. No poop and the end to get the poop and his clothes. So they have to do it.
From the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, amen. What I wanted to say is, I forgot it, but...
Break it right, so when they say you can sing, why not singing?
No, but I want to say something else, that my mother always tells us that in this world, the way the world is going today, you must find something to do that cannot be replaced by AI. So in whatever that you choose to do, in whatever skill that you choose to acquire, you must make sure that that thing can only be done by you and you only. No one can copy it, no one can... they can copy it in terms of these con artists and stuff, but then it cannot be copied by an AI because it's only known by you. That thing, God gave it to you and you only. So if you are not there, that thing is not done. It cannot be done. So Bo Ronaldo and all these people that are famous and rich and they didn't go to school that much, it's because of the value that they have made themselves into in the world. So the more skilled you are, is the more value you gain in the world. Like they were saying, working degree does not do do anything for you because you don't have the skill to use it. If you don't have a skill, what we call skill in anything, in this world we have your Joseph. Joseph didn't go to school, but he did everything he did with diligence. That is why he was able to be recognized, because he did everything with diligence, and that diligence he did it with, he was taught at home, right? And then you have Daniel. Daniel was recognized because he was a brilliant academic. God made him a brilliant academic so that Daniel can go and represent God in the kingdom of Babylon. God made Joseph a diligent worker so that Joseph can go and represent him in the kingdom of Egypt. And then you have Paul, Mark, Matthew, and all those people. You can see they worked for Christ with passion, but that is because they were experts in the things that they did in the world. God recognizes them because he knows that in his field they're going to be able to work for him because they were able to work even in the little thing that God gave them through their intellect. Fishing, Peter, they were fishers. Paul was a soldier, right? God could see that if this man can pursue killing people with so much passion, how much more passion can he preach the gospel for me? You know? So then God takes away this thing of killing people and he puts him in Paul, and Paul goes. He pursues preaching the gospel like no one's business. You know? So sometimes it's God puts a passion inside of you, right? How you use it, you should use it with wisdom, right? And in Turkey, like the Americans do, you can do whatever, you can be whatever you want to be, you know, be great and stuff. And then South Africa, it's in Africa. Like what? A child can't even answer that simple question. Where, in which continent is South Africa? That's pointless, because if you cannot, if our economical intelligence, like what are you doing in this world? Because you're not useful in anything. You're useful where you are, you have money, we see you. Mara, if I ask you anything else that I need you to help me with, if you can't answer where South Africa is, how am I going to ask you for life advice? You understand? Because you go around exposed, you don't pay attention, you are ignorant. You only pay attention to the thing that feeds your hunger. And people like that are dangerous, you know. But anyway, we should learn to have skills. And even if I have a skill but I didn't go to school, if my skill exposes me, that skill makes me to be a useful person in the economy, and it adds more value to my reputation. Because if I am known for writing books, or I'm known for doing jokes like these TikTokers and stuff, right? If I am known for that, these people follow them because you expose me to your daily life. Now you are part of my daily life, because every time you do a TikTok, mama or because whatever that they're doing. Don't you think that the more value you add to a person's life by looking at them simply on TikTok, because of joke? You know, just because he can make relevant jokes that everyone can relate to. What more about you? The things that you know, the things that you can do. Can't you also expose other people to what you can do so that they follow yours and then they add more value to you? Because even if I add more, even if TikTok is going to add value to Pilobamoto, what more about the useful thing other than making jokes? Well, making jokes requires a lot of intelligence, you know. You have to be intelligent to make jokes. You can't, you know. You have to be able to relate to humans in order for you to be able to make jokes. But what I'm saying is, with the little skill that I crochet, well, currently I don't really do much about it, but then I can do a lot about it. I have ideas on what I want to do about it. With, I can say, like simple things, like I don't know, you know, those little things besides going to school, are the things that you can actually make your legacy. Some people, they know how to make brooms. Some people know how to make mops. Some people know how to make, I don't know, like things, that we use on our day-to-day lives. The more I consume what you make, and the more you consume what I make, the more value we add to each other, and the more money we add to each other, the more exposure we add to each other. So it's not only about school, but it's also about the little things that you were taught how to do, and you find a useful way on how to make money with those things. Things that an AI cannot replace. Yeah.
Actually, I lost my chain of thought because things that people were talking about. But I think the concept, I think we shouldn't lose it. The concept is that there is things that are coming our way. And if we do not know what's coming our way and be ready for it. Like for instance now, we're talking about AI. And it has been there, things that are related to AI has been there for quite some time. But people were not ready on how fast it came and how you can utilize it. Now my question or my challenge is that I hear we're talking, we're doing all that. What is the way forward? Can we speak now on, we've been speaking about a lot of things, but let's now talk on way forward. On what is it that we need to do from here? How do we strategize from here? And all that. When we have time, I think maybe we should look at, there's a concept that we're talking about, they call it TALK, the concept or the theory of constraint. I don't know if you've heard about it. Theory of constraint. That those are the things that we need to look at as a person, as a family, as a church, as an establishment. The theory of a constraint is very powerful. It talks about what is it that bottlenecks you in being successful. That's just a nutshell of it. So you would find that in a value chain, I perform, you perform, somebody performs, but there's somebody who performs less in the family or wherever, which blocks that value chain. Then how do you augment that? And things like this that are coming, that enable us, because yes, it is more about the youth who coming, Professor Sidiso is going to, we're talking about the school, but also us as adults, we need to know, because there are things that even, okay, let me talk about just a small thing. We did not know about how serious, what is that term called? When these children use AI when they're doing exams. Pleasure. Yes. So as an adult, you thinking your child is studying, but by AI, well, you don't have a clue what is that. So that's the point I'm coming. But without delay, I think let's talk about way forward. What is it that we need to do from here? How do we join in all those things so that then we have a clear understanding on how we can move on?
You come here when you come and sing, and then you come and talk. You are next after my comment. Dear church, it's important that you have skills. We can have all the papers and the degrees that we can acquire, but people don't pay you for your degree. They pay for what you are able to do. The brother here said there are people who are passionate to be plumbers, and we have them. We have doctors. I know an Adventist doctor who went and finished his medical school, but chose to become a plumber because he loved it, and he's still making money in it. What we are saying is, don't run away from something and then start choosing the other, because still you will not succeed in that. But it's important that we encourage our kids to go and get skills.
Yes, sir. Yes.
That's the fundamental one. Number 2, you will not run away from maths and science. I used an example earlier of the law. That this world that we're living in has a law of who is going to employ. And I want you to take that part. When we're doing that law part, it's a law to say, since whatever, we are in the science and engineering. You know, we talk about the Chinese and all these people and what they do. In that language of theirs, they learn maths and science. We used to laugh here about Chinese, they were doing phone call. Today, the Chinese are controlling the world. They did. So, and remember what they were doing that time, they were from Congo. They were doing clothing for us. They were selling us the wrong Louis Vuitton, whatever, they were selling us all those wrong things. The cars at the time, they were all like not the best cars. Today they are leading manufacturers. The Huawei market that it has taken from the Americans are unhappy with what the Chinese are doing. Because the Chinese have decided to say, we've seen that we need to do what? Skill our people. Teach them how to do it. There was a lady last time we were here who said she used to work at Fort. When I talked, are you the one? You must dress up the way you were dressed up. And she's yellow today. When people get replaced at Ford, at BMW, at whatever, because, you know, she just said, don't do what the machine can do. If what you are doing, the machine is going to do it, I'm telling you today, let me prophesy. Can I prophesy? Can I become a papa today and prophesy? You are going to be retrenched. Don't worry, you will go on the street and march for 5 days. The truth is, but you are going. So whatever you are doing, and the machine can do it, the machine will do it better than you. The machine doesn't get tired, doesn't go to the bathroom, we service it, we plan. The machine will do it better than you. And the minute the machine does it better than you are gone. Done. So we need to make sure that whatever we're doing, we get skills. We're not going to run away from maths and sciences. Whatever you do, the machine should not be able to replace you. She said something very profound about us making sure that these brains were empty. We are done.